Hi, I'm Rob.
And I'm Rob.
And this is Ask Rob and Rob.
Welcome to Ask Rob and Rob. It's that time again. We've got more questions and more answers coming up. We've got a couple of really interesting ones this week. So we're not going to leave you waiting long till you can hear those, but it is worth, first of all, giving you a quick reminder of how to send in your own wonderful question.
Yes, you can go to our lovely shiny website, propertyhub.net/ask, and leave a message there. Or you can call this very special number, which will then mean that in the office, a big red phone will light up and no one will answer and it'll get sent to a voicemail. But that's all you need to do. You call 013-808-00035 and you will get to that very special voicemail. And that means you'll appear on the show. And that's exactly what Stephen and Becky have done.
Hi, Rob and Rob. My name's Stephen. Thanks for your great podcast and all the good content you put out there. Keeps me going through my long, boring shifts at work. My question is, I'm currently in my mid-40s. My residential mortgage is due for renewal next year, coming to the end of a 5-year term. With residential mortgages being so cheap, should I remortgage my buy-to-let portfolio, which currently has 6 houses in, 3 of them which are 50% below loan-to-value, 2 lower than 60% loan to value, and 1 of them is paid for outright. I've owned some of these houses many years. Should I remortgage them and pay my residential mortgage off because I want to live a bit more comfortably in my later years? Or should I leave them as they are and use the rental income to pay my mortgage on my residential property? Any advice would be greatly received. Thanks, Rob and Rob. Thank you.
Thanks for your question, Stephen. It's great that you've got so many options available to you. Now, with residential mortgages being so cheap at the moment, I'm going to give you an approach that you've not suggested, something else for you to consider. You can absolutely do what you've suggested, which is take out lending and pay off your residential mortgage, or use your rent to pay your residential mortgage for you for the time being. A third option would be to get your residential mortgage and, with the low rates currently, overpay it and bring down the term to a shorter period of time and use the rental income to pay it off. So you accelerate the process. So what happens is you will end up mortgage free, depending on the level of mortgage that you have right now, but hopefully that won't take too long because you're using all this rental income to pay it down. And then that means you achieve what you want. You'll end up having your mortgage paid off, but then you've not had to refinance and increase your debt elsewhere in your portfolio, which means then you can take that rental income and use it to live off rather than pay your mortgage down because that's paid off. And as you've suggested, your shifts are boring that you do at work, would mean that hopefully you could stop working because also the rental levels have gone up over time as well. So it might mean a bit of a short-term lifestyle sacrifice to achieve that because you may have been using that rental income already for your current lifestyle. But if you can apply that discipline, then you can get everything you want and more. So best of luck, Stephen. Great thing is you do have options and there is no right or wrong with this. It's just different approaches. But hopefully by giving you an additional approach, you can make a decision. Cheers.
Okay, let's have a listen to our next question now. This one comes in from Becky.
Hi, Rob and Rob. It's Becky from Stockport here. I was just wondering, when you're looking at either viewing or to offer on a leasehold property, I quite often ask the estate agent, what's the ground rent and when does it go up? But they often either don't know or are not very inclined to find out. Is there anywhere online where you can download copies of the lease so you can find out this information for yourself? I love the podcast and all your books. Thank you so much for all the free content that you put out.
Thanks for your question, Becky. And you would have thought so, wouldn't you? And you can do this to a limited extent, but it's generally not worth it, and I'll explain why. So you can find out what the ground rent is if you can track down the original lease for the property. Leases are held on the land registry, so you can go onto the land registry website, try to download the lease and see what it has to say. Reasons not to do that is that it's quite a bit of work to go and track it down sometimes, and it costs a bit of money. I think it's only £4 or so, but still, if you're looking at lots of properties, it does all add up. The other reason why I say it's not necessarily worth it is that the ground rent is only part of the picture. And yes, ground rents can cause you issues when it comes to how often they increase and things like that. But that is less of an issue now than it used to be. And the other thing that you need to know about leasehold properties, which estate agents normally don't know, is around the service charge. So service charge is normally a lot higher than the ground rent charge. So if you don't know what it is, it's impossible to do your sums. And sometimes estate agents have this information, but sometimes they don't, which puts you in a difficult position because you can't really work out how much you should be offering for the property, or if you are really interested in it at all, without having that information. So the answer to your question is you can go and find out some information from the land registry, but the thing to do is to probably find out as much as you can from the agent, push them a little bit to go and get some answers from their vendor. And then if things get to a more advanced stage, if you have an offer accepted or looks like it might be accepted and you're in negotiations, then you can go away and do a little bit more digging on your own and see if you can unearth the information that you need.
So thank you for your questions and thank you for listening. We'll be back on Thursday with the Property Podcast and, of course, back next week with Ask Rob and Rob. So until then, take care, have fun. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.